someone. But yeah, so you guys teleport over to Neverwinter, of course. Sandy's Thunderquill would rush up the stairs as she hears you guys enter in there. Just greet you guys and kind of buried in her books and let you guys know that if you need anything, she's here. She kind of just runs back down to her library and goes back to reading everything. Yeah, if you guys want to just get to the airship, you certainly can.
While we're on this map, can you point out to us like the general area where the Nelithar Isles are?
I can. It is not on the map, but
Oh, okay.
I will. Can you see my cursor right now? Is it on there?
Yes. So
No,
over
like the lower,
towards
lower.
No,
off of Waterdeep, heading towards Corin Archipelago.
It's further south than all that. It's Baldur's Gate would be about probably another 100 miles from Daggerford, and it's further. It's like west of Baldur's Gate.
Wow.
All right. Well, I think we try to hit Pip a little fast and kind of head right to the airship.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You guys run on out of this arcane district of Neverwinter, making your way over towards the dock area, where boats seem to dock at, and of course airships sometimes as well. You see, as you guys make your way over there, you pass by the Beached Leviathan and a few other notable ships. But of course, you see your red balloon sled type airship on the end of the docks with the crew of Dragon Cultists kind of tightening ropes and securing everything, make sure everything's set up properly.
Hey, buddies. Glad to find you here. Just kind of go walk right on the ship.
Yep. They would just greet you, Wilmore, Solrak, Fang. I'm happy to see you all. It's been quite a bit of time. Got a little bit worried there. Not going to lie.
Worried? Don't you know who you're traveling with? The wrecking crew.
Yes.
The business.
Yes.
But before we got to the ship, I don't know if it's too late to have a side conversation with the guys.
Sure, that's fine.
I think
Rewind.
Yeah. I think maybe we keep these whole gods and cubes to ourselves, and yeah, I don't really want to share that with Old Snarl.
Until we know exactly 100% of their intentions.
Agreed.
Now they're helping us, but something enough about them.
Yeah, I think it's okay to let them know that we killed Emerith, but let's just keep the whole old god stuff to ourselves. And
I
kind of
agree.
like, let's do it, and then just kind of walk up to up the airship and say hi. And I'd really appreciate if you guys took us to Lylon. We'd like to see if we can meet up with the Temple of Lathander there.
Back down to Lylon, certainly. We can have that arranged. Should only be days travel or so.
Easy peasy.
As you guys get on the airship, Brutus comes running on over to Solrak and pounces on him, 2 paws up, and licking your face.
Oh boy, my buddy. God, I miss you. Love you. Aw, how are you? Were they good to you? Were they good to you?
Just kind of.
Ah, you're just a boy. Belly rub. Belly rub. Yeah. You want a treat? You want a treat? Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Here you go. Thank you.
My job here is done.
I know. Somebody's getting outshined.
I'm fine with that. Take control whatever you want, please. All right. All right, so you guys get on the airship, and the crew begins to take their stations and filling up the balloon and getting the air elemental rolling, and you guys begin to take up to the sky, leaving Neverwinter as a little blimp down below you guys. You guys sail down the Sword Coast, down towards Lylon. And it is, as mentioned, about a day's worth of travel here. Nothing too crazy. You got the path is well known, and nothing too new for you guys to have to try to traverse. But throughout the day, is there anything that you guys want to take care of or discuss?
Yes, so as soon as I got onto the ship, um, and we had figured out we were going to Lylon, as soon as Chaddington had told that to Dell, I would have said, "All right, guys, I'm gonna head down to the to my quarters here. I got some unfinished business to take care of." And so I kind of go down to my quarters, roll up my monk clothes, exposing my arms and my range of motion, and start grinding away at some silver.
Oh, baby. All right. Fang takes his place and starts doing his thing. Anyone else want to do anything for the day? You can make that athletics check.
Make sure sanity's popped out, and just kind of we're gonna do a little fuck soul rack action here.
All right. You can make that intelligence. That's what it was, right?
Ooh,
Yeah, it was intelligent.
not
Yeah.
one, but I have advantage on athletics. Do I get advantage in this?
What is the advantage on athletics for
That's a good
climbing while
question.
knotted? The rope of climbing.
Ah, yeah, oh, shit.
That's a good one. Yeah, with that sanity, it's not really getting too far with that. I'll say, go make another one. See if we can do something a little bit better than that.
I don't think it gets much better than that. Nope. It's a -1.
Yeah, you're trying to make some progress with sanity, just bringing her back into existence, and having a hard time, as usual, getting through to her, but you feel like maybe you could get a half hour in here, done.
Did you say an hour?
Half hour.
Oh, half hour.
Yeah,
All right.
that's pretty sad performances.
Mm-hmm.
Not the smartest bird, being a familiar and all, especially too. Solrak, anything that you want to do? Fang, yeah, not too much happens with that.
Yeah.
I'll say that you can grind 10 silver pieces.
Oh man.
Honestly, since I haven't seen Brutus in quite some time, I'm gonna hang out with my dog.
Absolutely.
With him around.
Cool.
Dog thing.
Yeah, so you guys have all kind of discussed, what the plan of action is coming up. Is that, of course, you're traveling down to the Temple of Lathander in Lylon right now to try to learn about potential other relics for you guys to recover, and then possibly going from there either down to Waterdeep and Skullport perhaps, or even to the temple where Narvi is situated in Nelthar Isles. So if there's anything that you guys wanted to, try to discuss or plan with that, definitely let me know. If not, we can just move on forward.
Actually, one quick thing I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
Brutus, is I want to fuck with him. Want to find out on how he was treated, but if he saw anything in particular, I should know that he was being watched.
Sure.
Your conversations, anything I should know.
Okay. So you cast your ritual of speak with animals. You feel like you have that knowledge in your mind to be able to communicate with Brutus, and so yeah, if you want to go ahead.
Hey boy, need to know how were you treated while we were away?
Well, between you and I, Solraka, these guys are kind of lacking on the meat, food scraps. A lot of times you'd be cutting off pieces of bear and stuff and tossing it my way. These guys got jerky rations, all the sorts of dried, shriveled up pieces of meat. I mean, it's fine, but
Man,
it's not good eating.
what can you expect? Look how weak and little they are. God forbid anything happened to us if I would use these guys to catch bigger prey and catch off some of that. Do that. Skin and bones, these guys.
Yeah, they don't seem like much fighters. Like you said, pretty weak. But yeah, things weren't too bad. We just kind of flew on over here from that scary big purple island place, and been kind of just floating around here. Sometimes they go off and make some runs around the city and come back and keep it pretty low key. It seems. I didn't really notice too much tomfoolery going on.
Oh, think they were trusting them, boy? You feeling out of them?
I mean, between you and me, anyone that hides their face behind a mask, I don't trust. But they haven't given me a reason not to trust them yet, so for now, keep wagging my tail.
Boy, information. I'll make sure first thing we do is get you some real meat down to land. Then some rations. Here you go.
Some more of that shriveled up meat. It's okay. I appreciate it, Solrak. It's good to see you again. He just kind of jumps up on you and gives you another kiss.
Zoom back out into of it. I no longer understand him, and
That's what everyone else was hearing the whole time you guys were talking to.
Is Solrak barking?
Yeah,
Or is he talking and he's barking back?
He's speaking like an animal. Yeah.
Ah, so they're both just barking at each other.
Yeah. All right.
While that's happening, I kind of lean back to Dale or whatever, one of the main guys, and go, "Told him everything he knows." I just look on like a proud father.
You all are. You bring a strange assortment of tools to the toolbox, don't you? I gotta say that one. I can see the uses for it, but watching a grown man bark at another dog is quite strange.
Well, you know what they say about screws. The fastest way to secure them is with a hammer. I just walk away.
He just kind of looks back. Not much of a construction guy, but doesn't sound right. Guys keep on traveling, sailing on throughout the night.
I'm gonna practice my loot a little bit if I can.
Sure, go ahead and make a performance check.
I can perform, buddy. I can perform real well.
Yeah, plus 14.
God, I rolled 4. 18.
I was gonna say, watch it be like 30 something. All right, with an 18, I'd say that you can get 2 hours worth of practice in.
Right.
And with that, you guys, the day has been rolling nice along. Cool weather, nothing too intense. No rain, no clouds in the sky that seem to be up ahead to make the travel any worse than it is. But the sun does set, and as it does, that moon begins to illuminate from beyond the clouds.
I take a look at it. Full moon.
Changing screens.
Yeah, it should have darkened a little. It didn't look like it
Yep.
really did, but yeah, as you
Yeah,
look
it
up to it, Solrak, you notice this moon is full, massive, and make a perception check. Anyone that's looking up at it, you guys, all as you guys are sailing through the night
Yeah, I see
here,
it.
you would clearly see this thing up in the sky, large, and
Lightning man.
you can do advantage, Solrak, of course.
happened.
Nice. So Fang has told you guys about what he witnessed the night prior, and so his eyes are a little bit more attuned, and as he's glancing up at the moon here, he's seen it the night prior, and so he knows what he's looking at, and this to you guys is just kind of catching you by surprise. But he seems to notice a slight like wisp of black kind of just flaring off of it. It's very hard to see, but Fang,
Do I see that?
you see that only you, yeah.
And
Gents.
I'm looking. Go on.
Oh, gents, I can tell that we are starting to run out of time. I don't know if your eyes can catch it, but there's some black flares coming out of the moon. I think that's our sign.
Look at the moon. And am I feeling normal?
Go ahead and make a Arcana check. Or Nature, you can do that as well. Or either.
Fucking 8. What is
8.
happening?
You look up at it, and as the moon is ravishing full, of course you're used to your lichen, affliction, and curse coming and taking over you during these times, and right now, as you're standing here watching this, you don't feel that impulse within you. You don't know why, of course, with an 8, but you feel like you don't feel that impulsiveness or that part of you that you can't control that seems to want to lash out. It's not there.
I'm like zoned out at the moon for a minute, wondering why the hell I'm not turning into a werewolf and terrorizing everyone. And then all of a sudden, like, some hope comes to me, and I turn back over and goes, "Guys, maybe I'm cured."
I don't know, Sorak. I mean, I do find it a bit odd how we noticed the moon yesterday looking rather large, and I mean, again, while you may have the fact that you were turned to stone yesterday during the large full moon, that could have played a role in, but now, full moon even larger. I'm seeing the black flares. I'm wondering if maybe Narvi has some sort of control over that.
Oh, sorry, Wilmer, I didn't see you got a 28 perception. Yeah, you see that too. I thought you rolled lower.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Let them
sorry.
go ahead.
Would I be able to correlate the Solrak's inability to control his werewolfness to maybe the moon or what Narvi's doing with the moon?
Go ahead and make a Nature or Arcana check.
17.
17. You would think about the moon for a moment and how this possibly could be an affliction or a possibility of why his curse isn't seeming to take hold right now. But additionally, being a cleric of Lathander, you realize that there's a possibility that a blade such as the Dawnbringer could possibly have restored this curse out of him and gotten rid of that affliction completely.
So, Solrak, at first I had thought that maybe Narvi may have something to do with you not being able to activate your werewolf powers during this time of the full moon. However, the more I look at you, the more I realize that it's probably the Dawnbringer that's actually restoring your powers.
I smile. So you're saying I am cured, and I look at Dawnbringer.
Sounds about right.
Like, hello. Who else do you think is extra awesome? Me. Oh. How? Oh, don't worry. You're not the smart one anymore. Not to worry about these. Good enough for me. Thank you. Don't worry. Just be sure to always keep me away from the darkness. Tell me when enough.
As the hour or so goes by and all this happens, that full moon rises high into the sky. And you see the radiant light of it, typical of the moon, the whiteness, is illuminated and it's glowing and brightening the darkened world below. But as night wears on and goes on, Fang, you're keeping a watchful eye on this, and Wilmore, of course, with that 28, you see that a strange and terrible transformation begins to occur around the moon. This once so bright and beautiful, a luminous orb begins to darken and twist, and its surface begins to contort into some bizarre and unearthly shapes. You just watch as there's like kind of black wisp wrap around it. And as that blackness just spreads across the face of the moon, a sense of dread and foreboding just fills your hearts. For you know that this is, of course, not any sort of natural phenomenon. This is but a harbinger of some sort of eldritch horror and unspeakable terror that you know Norvi is inflicting on Faerun and all of Toril. And as that black moon reaches its zenith, a terrible silence just kind of falls across Faerun. The very air itself seems still, as if waiting for some sort of unseen horror to emerge from the darkness. And that black moon just stays there, continuously haunting the sky. This is a reminder of this terrible power that just lurks beyond the edge of human comprehension.
As it's going off, I know it's a full moon, so I pull out Fillmore's skull, I turn upside down, I cut down my arm, bleed into it, and I kind of lean back, and I, Frankie baby, and I drink my my own blood for my kind of ritual to him, and I just kind of sit there silently for a second and go, Frankie, you got a minute?
Just you sit back a little bit of that blood out of the skull, watching. Some of the remnants stay there and they leave this stain in the bottom of it, some sort of geometric configuration. You watch it and they begin to almost boil within there, and pluming up from the smoke, you watch as the shadowy visage of Frank the Battler just plumes up from the skull. Flame whip in one hand, lightning sword in the other. Wilmore, you rang.
I think this might be one of the last times you and I get to talk. And I kind of like point out the window at the big old black moon.
Luke, mute yourself. He would just kind of let me real quick.
I got him.
Yes, he would just kind of look over at you and says, after looking up at the moon real quick, looks back down at you. So the end times are near.
Or the new beginnings are close. And I shoot him a little sly wink, and I go, we were able to maybe slow Narvi down just a little bit. And I pull into my bag and pull out one of the cubes that we kind of found. And so I think he's up to something, but I was wondering if you knew anything about some of your friends trying to come on over into this plane.
Some creatures of the abyss coming to the material plane.
Why, yes. You see, I believe our good friend Narvi here is trying to bring some god through down there at Daggerford, and I don't know if you know of anything from the astral plane that's recently trying to get through.
Well, the astral plane and the abyss are far removed from one another. However, there has been ruckus disturbed down in the abyss, callings for a new god of the undead.
Calling for someone to come up and claim it, or that there's already a new god that exists?
There seems to be excitement from those undead beings who remain in the abyss, who are locked away there, or for whatever reason are there. They seem to be excited about the possibilities of a new one to call their own.
That's certainly a minor dilemma, you see, because I think I sorted out just what our friend Narvi's trying to do with Air 2 and all that good stuff, and I think he's looking for allies, but we'll have to take them down. But I was wondering, the last time we spoke about some kind of crystal shard that you were looking for. You wouldn't happen to have any idea where that would have landed, did you?
From my memory, Krenshinbon, the crystal shard you mentioned, it was located somewhere in the Great North. Somewhere in the frigid lands of the North.
What would happen if Narvi got his hands on that?
Well, you can imagine a being in control of such a powerful, magical, arcane crystal. Well, the possibilities are quite endless if you can harness and power it with such a way. It's truly infinite, the powers that it could possibly hold in the right hands.
I try to recall the crystal that Ice Claws had in the den up there, and I try to remember to kind of describe that back to him.
Go ahead, make a history
I
check.
don't know if I can do a history check.
Yeah, do a history, and no, actually that's fine. We'll start there.
History. Oh yeah, I'm super smart now. Reroll.
Guess not that smart.
Come on.
More lucky than smart.
More lucky than smart.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's an 18.
18. Say that you describe it as clearly as you can to your memory. A large crystal. You describe the color and nature of it and how it was presented and where you found it. And Frank would look at you and say, "That sounds like it. That sounds like Krenshinbon."
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion our friend Biz may have it. Although, you don't know if there's a way to track it or anything, do you?
The power it holds is, as I mentioned, quite immense. With that said, the use of divination or scrying on it is, unfortunately, seems not possible, at least with my powers.
But you'd say if you found that, you'd probably want to hide it somewhere really safe.
Certainly.
Like say a temple way out west. Over where was that again? Trying to think here. Got my notes.
I would say that yes, if Narvi has recovered this and
Chult.
has a temple of sorts, I would imagine he's using it in such a way and yes, protecting it as dearly as he can.
Thank you, Frankie. I think I know what we're trying to find now. We just got to see if we can find it in about 3 weeks.
Wilmore.
Is there anything else you knew?
Be careful with the power of the crystal if you do happen to find it or interact with it. The powers it holds can drive a mere mortal insane, mad.
Well, hopefully I just have to hold on to it for a couple minutes. Give him a little sly smile.
Crazy bastard, Wilmore.
Frank, I really hope I get to talk to you again.
You know, we do make quite the duo, don't we?
We do. Can I make one more history check? The portal in Daggerford.
Mhm.
Kolbaz, or no, what was it? Kiku said it was to the astral plane or to the abyss. You said it was to the astral plane, right? I was correct with that.
In Daggerford, the portal there, you guys learned from a scout of the Harpers in Silver
Yes.
Moon that they saw undead being spawned out of it. You guys don't know per se whether where that portal is coming from, but there is a gate of sorts.
Got it, and it was undead.
And they're undead spawning from it.
Well, Frankie, I would love to see you again. So just give me a favor. You know, we did kill Emerith, just like as you asked. We're slowing down Narvi, but if I'm gonna go find this here shard of yours now, and if you could just give me one big favor, if you find any gate or portal where maybe some of these undead friends you speak of are coming over to my side of the house, maybe you see if you can go through that thing too, when the time is right.
Wilmore, don't
And then-
tease me with a good time.
and if the time is right, maybe I can show you my bar and the first drink's on me. We're franchised now.
Wilmore, you have yourself yet another deal.
I do like making deals with you. They're so easy to do.
Just cracks his flame whip and the lightning sunders and splinters out from there and kind of streaks up to the sky, and a cloud of black smoke just plumes up, lingers up to the air, and then drifts back down into the skull again and just completely vacuums and disappears in there. And you can still feel a little bit of that warmth radiating and that smell of like ozone.
With that, I just kind of lean back in my bed and just kind of lay there and like stare at the moon. And I'll even throw my little invisible ring on for a second, just to make sure if he's hearing. And I just go, "Looks like you're doing pretty well, buddy." And I just take the ring off.
Love it. Fang, anything else you're doing tonight? Oh, we got you muted. Sorry. Colbert, will you unmute that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta do it. There you go. You should be good now.
still can't hear you. Is your headset?
Hello.
There we go.
I hear him.
Yeah, it was the old button. Sorry, Jules wanted an ice cream cone.
Classic.
No, I spent all day grinding this powder, and alas, I only get 10 silver out of this. And I start to overthink. I'm like, oh god, am I cursed with this now too? Am I starting to get weak now? Oh god. And so I put that to the side and meditate to kind of calm my nerves. And along with seeing the black moon, and then I get ready for the night.
Love it. Yep, kind of just zen out, being a little paranoid, thinking that maybe you got the weakness too, something's afflicting you, but find that peace of mind, stillness of mind as you meditate, and just relax for the evening. Find some rest. Soul Rack. Anything that you close out the night with?
You're muted.
Can't hear you, dude.
Oh shit! Sorry.
all good.
So when I go to sleep, can I do that now, or do you want to come back to me?
Yeah, if you guys are going to sleep, we can do that right now.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm honestly been pretty happy because I got Brutus back. Fine. So I'd try to go to sleep under a normal circumstance, just feeling happier than I have in quite some time. Curse has been lifted. I feel like there's a weight off my shoulders. But as I go to sleep, I once again see my mom. And this time, though, she has her back to me again. And I'm trying to catch her. I'm trying to grab her like I did the first time when I ended up stuck. But whenever I go to reach for her shoulder, I can't. I never can get her. It almost like I'm always one step behind, trying to get to her, but I can't. And I try to walk faster, but she's still out of my reach. I start jogging. She's still out of my reach, even though she doesn't seem to be moving any faster at all. It's just I can't freaking catch her. And all of a sudden, I get transported. And there's a lot of people. I'm confused. I'm like, what the hell? This is so familiar. Why is it? It's so familiar but different. And it's the courtyards at Daggerford. And it's different because marketplaces that used to be there, where I used to run around as a kid, are now gone. And now there's a gallows dead. And I see again my mom with her back to me as they put this around her neck. Then I start screaming. Just this guttural sound, and I'm sweating and I'm trying to stop it, but again, I can't run. It's like when you try to punch something in a dream and you can't, there's nothing that I can actually do to stop this. And last thing I see in the dream is the clanking down feet as she's let go. I wake up, just breathing, having a full-blown panic attack at this point. I realized that the curses in my life are really far from gone. There's vengeance afoot. I'm seeing it, it's like, holy shit. And I'm just having a full-blown, panic attack in my room. And Brutus comes up and starts, licking me and, trying to, calm me down. But I'm there for a while. just like bugging out. Then I begin to cry. A dog. So I spent the night.
Now these visions and dreams that you have, it's too real to be a dream to you. As you mentioned, your curse isn't gone, your afflictions aren't gone. You still have this lingering on and this vengeance that you need to claim, and this hatred in your heart that just burns, and the love that balances it out. Knowing that you need to do what you need to do to atone and make things right in Daggerford, and get that vengeance for your family that was wronged by that bastard Uncle Rubius. And these dreams might keep you up at night, but it's also what keeps you going throughout the day.
Amen.
And, Brutus is there to comfort you, kind of talk you down, if you will, and you find that comfort in your little bed in your room once again, and you drift off to sleep with that black moon lingering overhead. Yeah, you can definitely take inspiration for that. Wilmer, you can also for the Battleware stuff.
Woo!
But with that said, you guys, the night comes and goes. As you wake up in the morning, who would be first to rise in the morning?
We get a long rest, right?
You do get a long rest.
Not me for sure. After the night I had, it probably.
I'm gonna say Fang is the first one up. So as you wake up in the morning, Fang, there's sun shining in your porthole, in your window to illuminate the way. You look out because you're a little concerned, and maybe it's the middle of the night, you're a little confused. But you notice that it is clearly early morning right now, where the sun should be shining and peeking over the mountains to the east. But instead, the world of Faerun and Toril just seems to be a world of blackness and darkness, as that black moon just shadows and lingers overhead and blocks out all that light from reflecting back onto the planet.
Oh no. I kind of roll out of bed and rush out my door and just start banging on Solrax and Charrington's doors. Gents, good morning. Look out the window, please.
Looks lovely. A little dark. What is it like? It was like 10. I thought we slept.
Yeah, should we go back to bed?
No, that's
Why
just
are you
it.
waking me
That's
up in the
it.
middle of the night?
That's just it, gents. It's morning.
What? Oh no,
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
a fag over here trying to trick us.
Is
And
the
as soon
moon
as
still
we
up?
go check it out, he's gonna rob us.
Yes, the moon is still up. Yep. You can see more of that, like a little bit more than the night prior. You see some of those black wisp kind of forming around it.
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
certainly
look at,
unfortunate.
Is everybody else up and about in the ship?
Everyone's up, yeah.
I'm gonna look at whoever's nearest to me. Hey, what time is it?
Well,
Game time.
yeah, Laz, who's downstairs, as you kind of just bust out the door and you yell this, he's operating the air elemental. This is strange. You might notice it's quite dark out right now. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. But we've been up all night, and there's been no break of light.
See,
So
this is Narvi.
It's time.
We've got to get a move on, gents.
How far are we from the Temple of the Thunder?
You guys will be touching down in just a short time.
I think we need to go talk to them about this stuff and get a game plan, because it looks like we have, what, 30 days?
Mm-hmm.
I
Lot
pull out a
to
little
do.
notebook and I put a little dash in it to like mark day 1. And I'm gonna do that like every time we go to bed.
Love it.
Even if I don't say I did it, I'm gonna do it in the game. 'Cause
Love it.
I tend to drink when I do this.
So, any discussion about this before you guys touch down?
I think so. I would say, guys, I think I figured out what Narvi's hiding. My buddy Frank told me. I pretty much just tell them everything that he told me. I think the shard that our boy Chakapi was protecting. I think Narvi got it. I kind of pause for a second, and I just like think of Chakapi like probably being dead right now. And I think we need to go find it.
Do you think it's in the Nelithar Isles with him?
If you're gonna hide something, I think that's what you would hide.
Yeah.
But we got to be careful, because apparently even my buddy Frank was a little scared of it. So
Well,
But to be fair, your buddy Frank, dead, right?
no, he's a giant Balor god, so I don't
Oh.
think he's dead.
Oh.
You met him that one time, Solrak. Fang never met him. Remember when he
Oh,
killed you,
okay.
and then I.
Oh. Jeez, guy's scared.
Yeah, he's a little scared of the thing, so we may have to tread lightly. But maybe the Temple of Thander will know a little bit more of this. But I will say, based on what Dawnbringer did to those undead, I really want to see what type of other things this here Temple of the Thander has.
That's right, and they do owe you guys. You fulfilled our end of the deal, so sure hook
That is
you up.
true. Let's see what information they have.
I agree. Let's do that, and yes, from this point on, you guys, nothing more urgent. Be a very limited time. There's no turning back. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out. Let's see if I have any booze that's not feeling shit.
I've got some whiskey. I pull out a little bit of
Yes.
whiskey and I pour it into everyone's little cup, and I even pour one and like put it next to Fang's feet.
I'm gonna pick mine up and I'm gonna raise the glass. I said, "And be honest, I don't know if we're gonna pull this off, and this might actually be the end. But if it is, and an honor to know you, and an honor to battle with you, it'll be an honor to leave everything on the battlefield with you."
is that some of that Elvish ale?
It's whiskey, buddy, and I throw it back.
What's
And
whiskey?
oh, yeah, that burns here.
It's like a alcohol-free beer. You just try it. It's good for you.
Oh, yes, it's very
Okay.
medicinal.
I take a swig of it.
Yeah, that'll put some hair on that bald head of yours.
Great, that's just what I wanted. Ugh, heartburn. Ugh. But to the wrecking crew. Glad our paths have crossed, and all the adventures and camaraderie that we've gone through over the course of what's felt like an eternity. It's surely
will
been
say-
exhausting, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It has been a fantastic time, and I thoroughly look forward to fucking Narvi in the ass. gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. Or,
Happy
you know,
you ended that with Narvi. I was
horrible,
a little
horrible
concerned
death.
with the way our conversation was going. It's gonna say Solrak or Fang, or worse, Brutus.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, gentlemen. You two aren't my type. I kind of like look over at Brutus for a second.
Hey,
Oh.
Alrighty.
enough whiskey for now, then.
All right, you guys. With that, the airship begins to crane down, touch down to the ground, and you guys skitter just off the coast of the Sword Coast, about a half a mile from Lylon. As you guys touch down, hop out of the air balloon, or hop out of the airship, and are you bringing everyone with you? That being Cuomo, Brutus, and Sanity.
Yeah.
Sanity's coming.
Okay.
Definitely Brutus.
Alrighty. So with that, then, you guys walk on down the path, the high road to the Temple of Lathander in Lylon. You guys cross through the streets, making your way down. As you see a bunch of people working together to reconstruct the city, the settlement, fortifying the walls of surrounding it, and building up homes and domiciles and inns and what have you. Of course, you guys make it to this white marble stained glass building that is the Temple of Lathander in the center of town, warmly glowing as it always is, with marigold bright stone in the center, warmly welcoming you guys. So, Wrecking Crew, welcome. The Morning Lords welcomes you with his warm embrace. It's always an honor to see you all. Were you successful with your trip to Noanar's Hold?
Successful. We slashed and bashed, and we got your sword.
Let's not forget about the whole instance with the your other sword that Marigold. I tried to warn him about as well, but you know Solrak was a little too stubborn to listen. But that's neither here nor there. We are back, and we did and I kind of elbow Solrak in the face while he's doing that mocking.
Yeah, I tell you what, MG, and I reach in the bag of holding, and I kind of I wrap my hand around in like napkins, and I kind of pull it out like this, and it's just kind of drop it on the floor. You can do with that what you will. But have you been outside lately?
Yes, I went out this morning down to the water. My morning walk, as I typically do to greet the morning sun, and alas, I'm sure you all have, of course, witnessed this well, but it is dark over Lylon once again.
I mean, it's actually dark everywhere. I don't know if you would have thought that, but it's not just here. This isn't a single thing for you. So there's a little bit more urgency right now. So I was hoping you could let us know where the rest of those are. And I point to the Dawnbringer. The other ones.
Step back real quick. I'm sorry. You're saying that it's not just Lylon here, but the Sword Coast is shrouded in darkness?
That's right. It's darkness, and in 30 days, it's the end of everything.
Or the beginning of
we have no time to
something
explain.
else, but
See the color from her face just completely flushes away, and she looks, it's true then. The end times are near, and well, the tomes of Lathander have taught us that there will be those that come to usher in that new dawn, as Lathander once did, and bringing back the Dawnbringer and seeing it here in your hands, I can't help but know that you three, you are the ones responsible for this. You are the ones that will be ushering the new age, the new dawn, bringing the sun back to Faerun. We cannot do this alone.
That's what we're saying. I point to them.
Marigold.
Wow.
I mean, I'd like a cool sword too.
have you noticed any difference in our cleric powers within the last 24 hours? I just want to make sure like this blackness, darkness doesn't potentially hinder our powers, just as a way to prepare for what's coming.
Um, she would look at you, and you know, this is not standard. This is not typical. Was not used to anything like this. I would imagine that a darkness possibly could have an effect on our holy powers of radiance and light and dawn, but I'd really hope that our god Lathander stays strong, and with that his powers remain as well.
Would there be any way to troubleshoot that issue off the top of your head?
As a cleric, we pull our powers from divinity, from our gods, and if Lathander isn't able to, then we... Unfortunately, there's no way to harness that magic. But with that said, you all certainly should go out there for the other relics. One of them, though, might be a bit harder to come across, as the information isn't as readily available, but there is one that should be not far from here.
Where?
You all are familiar, yes, of course, with the Mere of Dead Men.
Of course.
When that area, well, it once housed many, many towers and castles and homes of peoples of all types, and that land centuries ago was flooded by an evil lich, also bringing up part of darkness to the Sword Coast and creating the Mere as it is known today. There was a champion, a cleric of Lathander named Ulran, who went out to the Uth Tower in the Mere of Dead Men with a relic of Lathander known as the Dawnstone, a powerful, radiant crystal that shines with the light of the sun. He went out there trying to help those in need and fight off the evil undead who were taking over the lands, and the cleric helped and saved many lives, many, many lives, and we can thank him for that. And it's even said that he slayed the legendary dragon, Ebondeath, the ancient black dragon. That is no small feat in itself. But unfortunately, in that battle, he lost the Dawnstone, it is said. And the evil necromantic beings that praised Merkel, the god of death, overpowered him, and Ulran, he never came back, and thus leaving the Dawnstone lost to the Temple of Lathander.
Do you know where in the Mere of Dead Men we would potentially be able to find this? I mean, you mentioned the Uth Tower.
Yes,
is that still around?
The Uth Tower, it no longer stands, unfortunately. Well, many of the buildings and towers and castles that were there are all either collapsed or have been sunken into the Mere, being almost eaten by the swamps itself. But the Dawnbringer knows the proximity, and when it's nearby a relic of Lathander, such as the Dawnstone, it could possibly lead you guys to the vicinity, the location about where you could find it.
I flick Solrak's sword. You getting all this, buddy? Like talking.
Whoa! If you're gonna touch a lady like that, you better buy her light first. Hey, don't touch the sword. Now, how would one go about using
The Dawnstone? Is that what
Yes.
you asked? Well, it's a radiant crystal that, of course, a believer in Lathander would have to attune their magical essence to, and with that, it will help boost the resolve of you and your allies, or it can even create radiant light to help eradicate and destroy your enemies, and especially undead.
Hmm.
That's what I'm
Oh,
talking about, guys. And I kind of like start like
cool.
elbowing Fang, like,
We need that.
Now you mentioned the other artifact was harder to find. What
Yes.
is the other thing?
Well, I don't have much information on it myself. You would unfortunately have to go down to the libraries of Candlekeep and learn down there, going through the tomes and books down there, possibly asking the scribes. Um, there isn't much
Library of where?
information. Candlekeep. It's south of Daggerford.
towards Baldur's Gate, you say?
Yes, it's between the two.
Okay. And the librarians, if you will, would maybe just point us to some old sketchings of Lathander or something of that nature.
Well, to enter Candlekeep is a different task altogether. You see, you do need to provide them in exchange a very rare tome or book that they don't have there themselves.
Well, maybe we could find something like that. You don't know if they're looking for anything in particular, are they?
No, but I can tell you that, of course, the more rare and obscure or esoteric the book, the more excited they typically get about it.
I'd pull out what is it? Curious Case of Wisteria Veil and go. You wouldn't think they'd have one of these handy, would you?
You say, I'm not quite sure. It's a possibility, but you could always. And I'm not sure of the great, vast library that they have and every encyclopedia within there, but it seems like an interesting play or novel here. It's a possibility to try.
Well, gents, while we're at it, should we inquire about the other relics that we had found?
Oh yeah, you guys wouldn't know anything about these, would you? And I break out a couple of the cubes.
These are peculiar. No, where did you find such a thing?
In a blue dragon's lair.
Oh.
Yeah, we think the gentleman responsible for this lovely moon outside, kinda kicks some gods out of a Parthenon out west, and is trying to raise another old god, we think.
As you pull them out and whatnot, and you're saying this, she's like trying to reel in her mind what they possibly could be, and she looks at the few of them that you pull out and notices like one is like the bear like kind of animal, one's more of like the snail, and one's a grung, and these wouldn't happen to be the representations, of the 9 trickster gods of Chult.
Yes, exactly. That's actually where we were going to be heading soon, was old Chult.
Well, it is. I don't know too much about this, but it is said that these gods were murdered, and their bodies went missing from their temples in Chultan. Of course, they're not a widespread believed in gods or anything. It's mostly stationed and situated just into those in the island of Chult and the Nelithar Isles that believe in these gods. But yes, from my knowledge of different divinities and whatnot, those bodies and those gods were killed and have gone missing from their temples. They had different temples in all of Chult. Right? Within the last century, certainly.
Well, gentlemen, I think, we just need to go find that lovely temple. I'm sure you could probably hide something really nice in that temple there, couldn't you, Marigold?
Certain that, yes, if what you're saying is true, then yes, imagine so.
I think we may need to get going, gentlemen. Every day is a little precious right now.
I agree. Out of here.
So it sounds like we're heading to the Mere of Dead Men, yes?
That's right.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I was saying Dawn Stone or Dawn Soul, but it's Dawn Soul. I had two different names that I made for it, but and I switched
said
between two.
Stone.
Soul is
On soul.
yeah, yeah. In my notes, I have both of them written down.
We have to go to get Don's hole. Got it.
That's right, Don Coriol. All right. Should we let you guys know? Because Fang, you asked this also. The Uth Tower, it once stood, not too far from the north of the Mere of Dead Men, and closer to the coast. From what we know and understand is that the tower itself has been sunken into the grounds. So it might be hard to locate, but keep an eye out for something that could maybe be an entrance point from, something along those lines.
Well, and Dawnbringer will have its radar going. Isn't that right, Dawnbringer?
Oh, that's right. I will have my radar.
Sorry, I totally did not hear you.
Classic.
That's all right. So with that, Marigold will just say, well, before I send you off, this is of course a task that shouldn't be taken lightly. Here, and she hands each one of you guys a greater healing potion.
Nice.
Ooh.
Thank you, as always.
Yes, and of course, the Mere of Dead Men is littered with undead and lizard folk and swamp creatures and all sorts of aberrations. Keep your head on a swivel and be wary.
You will be, don't worry. We've killed plenty of lizard folk, and well, undead will be good practice.
Fair enough.
All right. With that, she says the Morning Lord embraces you with his warm embrace and thank you again for everything and be safe out there. She kind of ushers you guys out the door and looks up to the black moon and kind of shudders a bit and closes the doors to the temple and shutters herself inside. With that,
Well, gentlemen, I think we keep on keeping on.
Bro.
Right to the airship and direct them to go to the mire.
Once we get the on hole, when you guys need to use it, stir the pot a little bit and walk away.
Marigold would let you know that the last one relic that is harder to find is a relic for a cleric specifically.
The last one that's harder to find is a cleric. But
Yeah.
This one isn't. Okay.
That is correct. So you guys make your way to the airship, and it's a stone's throw away to get to Mere of Dead Men, essentially, from the lie line. So you guys hop in, and about 15 minutes of travel, you guys are already in that murky, swampy lands of the Mere. And tell me how you... So she told you guys, whereabouts, kind of where she thought it was. Tell me how you guys go about this, navigating.
I approach Dell and say, "So Dell, on our way towards the Mere Dead Men, we are looking for where the Uth Tower would have resided. Now, we are told that is in the north of the Mere Dead Men, more towards the coast. Just keep a lookout for a potential, somewhat inconspicuous access point." And then I turn to Solrak with Dawnbringer, and you also make sure you're on your A game here.
Oh, please. All D, relax. I'm always on my A game. Hey, she's sassy. I'm just saying. I need to tell her what to do. She's been on her A game. I agree.
So Dell takes you guys over the darkness of the mirror and say, well, was there any sort of indication or direction or anything that was given to you all to find this?
We believe it's the northern part near the coast.
Great. With that, everyone roll a survival check with advantage.
Boom.
Survival with advantage. Oh, yeah. 23.
18.
MJ.
11.
19.
Nice. 23, 19, 11, 30, 23.
Numbers.
What's 53 divided by 3?
I just had a calculation. 17 and 2/3.
Yeah. So with that, the direction that you guys have given Dell to find the Uth Tower or whereabouts, you guys begin to glide over the mirror and see a lot of that darkness of like fogginess, kind of heaviness lingering off of it, and you guys are kind of swooping into that. And it's kind of hard to see down below too clearly now, but with this direction, it only takes you guys about 2 hours total to until Solrak's hand with the Dawnbringer inside of it begins to kind of just hum a little bit and glow radiantly, just like almost like a pulse.
Do we notice it?
Solrak certainly does. You guys probably do if you're nearby as well.
I'm gonna call attention to them. Guys, do you see this?
And I whisper into Chattington's ear, looking at this Dawnbringer. I'm wondering what he does with it at night.
I mean, it does vibrate. I kind of reach out to touch it again.
She vibrates. Let's reiterate.
Ooh.
Yes, we do see that, Solrak. What's Dawnbringer telling you?
Earl, is it close?
What that would pretty much be telling you is like, yeah, that it's within a certain vicinity for sure. Marigold told you it's not a long range on it or anything, so it's definitely nearby.
Dell, let's get closer to the ground, please.
Right away, Fang.
And
down closer.
upon,
Keep an eye out for lizard folk or dead.
well, and upon
Perception check.
getting lower to the ground, just like looking for some sort of like entryway access point.
Yeah, make a perception check. Both of these are with disadvantage, unfortunately, because of the thick darkness of the haze and fog. These guys are just overhead, and all the trees and brush kind of covering down below.
Oh, nat 22, come on. Oh, fuck you, 11.
Not bad. Sorak, you said you're looking for zombies or whatever too, undead or lizard folk.
With advantage?
Disadvantage. Yeah, Fang, you look down, looking down for a entrance to this tower or anything, and you don't seem to be picking up a sign of any sort of structure or anything like that. Solrak saying not seeing any sort of creatures lurking down here or anything, but the Dawnbringer, the pulse of it seems to, before it was kind of like almost like a slow beacon, like very slowly pulsing. As you get a little bit closer down to the ground here, it's starting to pick up just slightly.
Solrak, I'm wondering if it helps if you point Dawnbringer in the general direction, like using the tip of it as a radar.
Whoa. Don't tell me how to use my tip. I'm going to raise it up kind of like this. Straight up. basically just start rotating around and see if it points me in a particular direction, and if it vibrates harder as I turn.
And I whispered to Chatham, yeah, he'd probably like that, wouldn't he?
It's all about the little
I
turn
kind of
action.
like it.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check, Solrak.
13.
13. As you hold the Dawnbringer out and kind of circling around with it, trying to sense around you where this tower could possibly be or where the relic is, yeah, you're kind of spinning around and you get about 90 degrees one direction. And you feel a little intensity, it picks up slightly, but then you keep on turning and it kind of dims down again and go back to that spot. And you notice that it's picking up once again.
I keep facing that spot with my arm, and then I turn my head over and I grin over to the guys, say, "Let's go."
Following you, Solrak.
One of the crewmen throws down a rope ladder off the edge of the ship and says, "You can hop on down if you'd like. You have the stone, correct?"
Yes, I have the sending stone, Dill. I will holler if we need anything.
Okay. We'll
I
just
will
fly it around and make
be.
some laps in the meantime.
I will be on top of Cuomo. Not too far above you guys, but just above you guys. Just to see if we can get any advantage visually in the air.
Yeah, as you're looking down, it's really from up here. It's hard to see much more than what you guys have already tried to make out. But you guys can climb down the ladder and see what's down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you guys climb down that ladder one by one, touch down to the murky swamplands down below. Yes, this area, you plop in, your feet kind of sink into the ground a little bit, sloshing in there nice and thick. Kind of lift up your foot and you can move it, but it takes you a bit of time to have to traverse and trudge through this. And you guys, Dawnbringer and Solrak, it seems to be pointing up from where you are right now, as you kind of spin around again, up to your northwest.
West. So northwest we go.
Okay. Needs, if you're leading the way, roll a survival check for me, please.
I sure is.
And you have the Dawnbringer. It is dark out
16.
here. Let me go ahead and turn all this on for you. 16, not bad. Oops, the darkness filter is up. Is the darkness right for you guys in here? Can you see?
I can see pretty well.